What's happening? It's your boy B-Hop for allhiphop.com, and stepping in the building, I got one of my partners, man, my big homie, one of the founders of the Aphilliates, the Academy, the Trendsetter DJ Sense, man. What's good with it, man?
What's poppin', man? You know, we out here, Gangsta Grills, of course, the Academy, Trendsetter.
I mean, talk to me about this new album that's out, man. I mean, the record is crazy.
Yeah.
T-Pain, Migos, K-Camp. I mean, how did you pull that off?
I mean, like a year ago, my man, I saw what T-Pain was actually doing. Yeah. And my man was like, yo, T-Pain warming up. So I was just watching, you know, always try to like pay attention to what's going on. And I was like, you know what? T-Pain about to make some noise. Even me and you talked about it.
Exactly.
And I made an effort to reach out to him. I met his manager. Shout out my man Rod. He introduced us. And, you know, the relationship turned out to be a good thing. You know, I gave him a couple beats. And he was keeping it real. He was keeping it funky with me. I was like, I was like, yo, keep it real with me. Like, I don't want you to be just trying to act like. He was like, trust me, I'm gonna tell you the truth. And the first beat I played, he was just like, and I was like, you know what? I know what beats you need. So then I put together the producers that I needed to focus on that would make the most sense. So I hollered at my man Spins.
Yeah.
And you know, I've been behind She Twerking, The Future Honest.
That's right.
On it on the Cash Out record. So he had that sound and that I felt what made a lot of sense. So I just hit him when I left T-Pain house. I said, man, I need a pack. I need some music. Yeah. And at the time, he's working with another producer by the name of Done Deal, who did Stoner for Young Thug. And he sent me a beat that Done Deal did too. So he sent me some beats that he did, and he sent me some beats that Done Deal did. And the beat that Done Deal did was the What You Know beat. As soon as I heard it, the bass and the melody and the drums, and it had that club energy to it. So I called T-Pain and him back like a week later. I just was trying to calculate it in my head, but I called him back like a week later. And a week after that, they said check your email. That's when I knew I had a record win. Because before, you know, when you dealing with putting, you know, it's like A&R or executive producing. When you putting records together and you doing all that kind of stuff, you don't know what the artist's gonna think or do. And so for somebody like T-Pain to say check your email, I was like, oh, I might have something on my hands. And then he sent me that record back, and it was the What You Know hook. And then I just went through the whole process of trying to figure out who the other artists were. And then, you know.
How did you know that K-Camp and the Migos were the right people for that record, though?
Well, shout out my man Parrish. Actually, there was some other artists that was supposed to be on that record. And I don't know if they just didn't gravitate towards it. And then, you know, I just felt like I knew what it was, you know. So, but then I talked to my man Parrish. He was like, man, you should, you know, this is the A, you need to, he was like, rock with the new, fresh, hot, young artist that's tearing up the scene right now. And he was like, yo, put the Migos on it. And I was like, I ain't never think about that. Like, it just hit me with a whole different angle. I said, okay. So I gave it to the Migos. And they gave me, all three of them bodied it. They bodied the verse. And then, so during the process, while I was waiting for the Migos to finish it, I've always known K-Camp has always been my man from back in when he first was just trying to do his thing, you know. He's jumped on my mixtapes, even back when he did that Michael Montana song. A lot of people may not know that, but he did that he did the hook on that Michael Montana, that Do It. And I just always kind of believed in his brand. And then, you know, from the Money Baby and the Cutter Off, you know, he started catching heat. And I just figured, I was like, you know what, it'll make a lot of sense. And everybody is in Atlanta. Everybody's doing their thing. You know, my whole Rhythm and Streets thing, I bring that Rhythm and Streets angle to it. Even though it's still a rap record, it still kind of has that female friendly sound to it, but still can go hard in the club. So I just felt like it was a good fusion of everything. And K-Cat sent me that back in one day, and I was like, my man, you got a problem. That is fire. Yeah. And that really gave me a lot of confidence with my record when he told me that, because this is like off his height of Cut Her Off.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And then the Migos hit me and was like, yo, this joint is crazy. And they sent me the record, and rest is history. Now, you know, just simply putting in that work. It's only the beginning though. We just getting started, man.
I mean, I was in the club the other night, Sense, and that What You Know came on, and people started to go crazy in the club. Yeah, the strippers just didn't even know how to act in there. Okay, money was flying. I mean, it was a movie. How do you feel about the DJs responding to that record positively, like they've been doing?
The DJ thing that's been something really. I'm really beyond appreciative because I'm a DJ and I know how it goes, and then you always got second guesses, because not second guessing, but you were like you a DJ, and then you coming with a record, like how DJ's gonna respond, is it gonna get competitive, you know what I'm saying? You just think about all those things, and nowadays a lot of DJs is coming with a lot of records, so I just always wanted to separate myself. But the way the DJs have responded, that's when I really knew I had something, because they'll keep it funky with you. And they straight up was like, yo, a lot of DJs told me they don't really like DJ records like that, but my record really stood out.
One thing that I will say is that a lot of DJs put out records, but a lot of DJs don't put out flat out hits. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes the DJ will put out a record just because they had the ability to push their own record, versus the fact that they actually have an ear for the music that they putting out. And you can see with that What You Know, the remnants of that. But now I got to take it straight to the Trendsetter, the album. What can we expect on that album, Sense? Because I know that's stupid. I know some of the features and stuff that's already coming together for it, and I mean, that sounds like it's gonna be a monster.
I got nothing but hits. And then that's when I really realized how I wanted to put the project together. And then let me even backtrack a little bit, not only on the album but even on the songs. Like, I don't take records that artists give me. Sometimes artists just want to give you a record, and then I don't do that. I make my record straight from scratch. I find the beat, I get with the producer, I get with a songwriter. See, it's different with my music because I make R&B and hip hop music. So I gotta find a songwriter too that's gonna write the lyrics for an R&B artist, because not every R&B artist is writing their own lyrics. You know what I'm saying? And when you get with a rapper, of course they writing most of them. Exactly. So it's like you really, and that's the part I love the most. Is building it from the bottom, because it's my creation from the bottom. Even when some people don't see it or get your vision, I can see it all the way to the finish line. I think it's a gift that God just blessed me with. You know what I'm saying? And I just see just the fact that you can create nothing and turn it into something, and still have people of a high quality, high talent level respect what you're doing, and then it comes out amazing, and then people are like, man, I never, you know what I'm saying? So going into the album, I've taken that approach on everything. I just started off with beats. I just started off with a whole bunch. I got hundreds of beats, but I like to do creative things. Like, I may not typically always go after, if I'm gonna make an R&B record, I may not go after an R&B producer. I like, being in the A, this is my home city, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the dope producers come from this city, and I like, and the producers have made their name off of the Futures and the Guccis and the Jeezys and the T.I.s and the Young Thugs and the Rich Homies. I like to take that sound and kind of R&B it out a little bit, but still got that swag and that ghetto-ness to it. Now I'm giving away my secrets, but I don't care.
Well, see, I need another secret, because see, as a legendary record breaker in this city, what is it that you look for in artists and in their music before you play it on the radio? Because a lot of folks, they come to us with music all the time. Play this, play that, play this, play that. What is it that you got to hear or see in that artist before you even think about pushing play on that thing?
I like to watch who they are as a person, what their movement is like, what their people, wherever they come from, what neighborhood they're coming from, how they gravitate towards it. What's the energy from the people, and not necessarily what the industry may be saying, because that's like a light switch that could turn on and turn off. Like, it's all about the people at the end of the day. Of course, we in the industry, and we are the platform of the music business, but at the end of the day, it's about the people. Like, who, like, what's the average person, the average kid that goes to school, the average student, or the average person that got a 9-to-5 that ain't got nothing to do with nothing that got to do with the music industry? What's their take on it? What's their passion behind the music? I always study how does that person affect their audience. That I take a lot of. That's something I really take into court, especially when it comes to rap. When it's R&B, it's a little bit different, because it's a lot relies on your talent and your work ethic. It's talent and work ethic on both sides, but you can break differently. When you're a rap artist, it has a lot to do with your movement. You know what I'm saying?
Now, on another note, you, Drum Cannon, crunk up the academy.
Yeah.
I mean, what's been going on with that, man?
I mean, it's everybody. Really, man, it's just a lot of bosses, a lot of executives doing their thing. That's just part of one team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Cannon, vice president of Def Jam.
Yeah.
Drama working on his album, one of the biggest DJs in the game, and he's A&R at Atlantic. You know what I'm saying?
Now, before we get up out of here, Sense, what is next? What do we need to be looking out for? And I mean, you know, Twitter, Instagram, and all that stuff.
Yeah, of course. At Trendsetter Sense on Instagram, Twitter's at DJ Sense, rhythmandstreets.com. You can follow all my good stuff. Also, the video was on deck. Working. Oh yeah, another thing. I'm writing the treatment and co-directing.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? I just like to have a lot of creative insight when it comes to these projects, man. And I just wanted to match the way I envision the song.
Mm-hmm.
I got another big situation coming up with some of the other records that's going on. It's turning into something more than what I could have imagined, and now I'm kind of like taking this executive producer role, getting involved in artist projects, big #1 selling artists, and I'm getting involved with helping what they're doing for their projects. So it's turning into a beneficial situation. I'm just appreciative and blessed, man. I appreciate you too.
Man, no problem. Appreciate you coming through this thing, my dog.
shout out
Wish you
man
nothing but the
Glenn,
best
too.
and much success. Be High Radio, shout it. It's all hip hop. Let's go.